Today, the growth has slowed down all over the world. And please do not take it that I am beginning on a defensive note by trying to justify whatever is happening in the domestic economy by the fact that external developments are also sluggish. But external developments do play a role. India is very much integrated into the global economy. So before I come down to India, it's very important to note that global growth has also started to slow down, and it's quite visible. The second quarter growth in almost all advanced economies has shown signs of deceleration compared to the first quarter, whether it is the United States or the Eurozone or Japan or any other economy you take it, that they have started slowing down. So far as India is concerned, over the last 5-year period, the growth has been on the higher side of 7.5%. Last year, the first quarter numbers were very good. Thereafter, the numbers started coming down, and we closed the last year at 6.8% growth. This year, the first quarter number was 5%, and I think that has really woken up everybody. So far as the Reserve Bank is concerned, as early as February this year, we had noticed the signs of slowdown. If you see the Monetary Policy Committee resolutions of the Reserve Bank, and these MPC, these Monetary Policy Committee meetings are held every 2 months. If you see the minutes of the MPC, or if you see the minutes of individual members, and if you refer to my own minutes, we have clearly recognized that there are signs of growth slowing down. So we started the cycle of interest rate cut as early as February this year. And that was the time when United States, the US Fed was still in a tightening mode. And comments were made in certain sections that RBI is going in the wrong direction. But today, as we talk here, almost all central banks across the globe are in an accommodative mode and are cutting interest rates, because there is wide recognition that the growth momentum is slowing down all over the world. So that way, the Reserve Bank of India has been proactive and ahead of the curve. Now the growth this year, the 5%, as I mentioned, has really, everybody then, there's a lot of discussion post announcement of this number. Now at this juncture, all the stakeholders, and this I said earlier, all stakeholders need to play their role. The major stakeholders would be the policymakers, the government, the central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, the private sector. I think everybody has to play their role. So far as the government is concerned, the fiscal tool has to be used not by just expanding the expenditure in an unplanned manner, but by focusing more on the quality of expenditure of all the budget related, of all the budget provisions. And a positive thing is that there are, this is already happening, and it is things like, for example, the direct benefit transfer. Direct benefit transfer essentially focuses on improving the quality of the expenditure, prevent leakage of public money, and see that the benefit of the subsidy reaches the targeted population. So far as fiscal policy is concerned, the focus will have to be on quality of expenditure. It has to be also on certain structural reforms. Over the last few years, government has initiated a number of structural reforms, like for example, the GST is one, or for example, the introduction of the monetary policy framework, so far as the RBI is concerned, that has also been implemented. But I think now there is need to continue the process of reform, focusing on the various factors of production like land, labor, entrepreneurship, capital. There are a number of items I think there is need to focus on these kind of structural reforms. So far as the central bank, the RBI is concerned, we have reduced the policy rates over the last, since February, over the last 8 months. The next meeting is due in October. Our research teams are working based on incoming data and the outcome of their research work, what forecasts they make about growth and what forecasts they make about the inflation. Monetary Policy Committee will take appropriate decisions. We have kept the system in liquidity. It was in deficit mode till about end of May, but from 1st June onwards, the system is surplus in liquidity, and I have myself stated that we will ensure that adequate liquidity is available. We are also focusing on issues of maintaining financial stability. While we are focusing on growth, we should not lose sight of the importance of maintaining financial stability, and we have taken several measures. So far as the private sector is concerned, I think they do have a certain role also to play. But having said all this, I think I will stop here, and then perhaps we can have more interaction. And there is a slowdown in growth. I would just like to conclude this part of my intervention by saying that there are factors which are pulling down the growth, but there are opportunities available. And if we capitalize on those opportunities, I'm sure India will come back to where it was in terms of growth. Thank you.